I will now conduct the assessment. Hi, come on in. My name is Thomas. I'll be your assessor today.
Oh, hi, Thomas.
Please have a seat. As I said, my name is Thomas. I'll be your assessor today. How are you doing? Have you had your lunch?
No, I'm rushing down from my office. They have a meeting that's late, so I don't have a lunch.
Oh no, so sorry. I hope you can grab something after the assessment today.
Okay.
Will you have time afterwards to get some?
Well, I had a meeting later part of the day. I need to rush back.
Okay. Well, I hope it clears up for you today. May I have your NRIC for my verification? Thank you. Lim Gek Hui.
Yes.
Could you just tell me your NRIC number?
S691331 B for Bangkok.
Great, thank you. Okay, well, so today we're going to be conducting an assessment based on the REABC-100C-1, which is sell consumer goods or services. This is the unit I'll be assessing. Does this sound correct to you?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, can I call you Jacqueline?
Oh, yes.
Okay, Jacqueline, let me explain to you the purpose and the context here. The purpose of this assessment is to confirm the competency of the candidate to sell consumer goods or services successfully with a view to career advancement. Also, it's to award the statement of attainment to the candidate who is deemed competent in the competency unit to sell consumer good or services. Jacqueline, is this clear to you so far?
Yes.
Great. The assessment will be carried out according to the industry standards, practices, and regulations. As for the operating environment, the assessment will be conducted in this classroom and will include products as props from the store. Your organizational environment will be based on ABC's standard operating procedures, and the legal environment will include these 3 items, which is the Occupational Health and Safety Regulations of Singapore, second, the Consumer Protection Fair Trading Act of 2003, including the Lemon Law, and thirdly, the Personal Data Protection Act, PDPA. Is this all clear to you?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just got a few more things in the briefing before we get started.
Okay.
Everything okay so far?
Fine.
Great, okay. So today, there's going to be 2 assessment methods that I'll be using. Okay, the first one, we're going to start with a role play. And that's going to be followed by oral questioning. I will be using the assessment record for role play and the assessment record for oral questioning as my assessment tools to collect evidences. Okay?
So role play, oral questioning.
Exactly. Yeah. During the whole entire process, I will be collecting evidences, and I will use this later as a form of giving you feedback and letting you know the status of your assessment, whether competent or not yet competent.
Okay.
The whole entire assessment will take about 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yes. We will do role play for about 20 minutes, and followed by oral questioning for about 10 minutes.
So 30 minutes, 20 minutes for role play,
Yes.
10 minutes for oral questioning.
Right. Correct. Now, are there any special needs I need to be aware of, for example, language or medical conditions?
I am having migraine now. Not feeling very well.
Oh dear. Well, don't worry. Would you like to defer the assessment, do it at another time?
No, I want to carry on. I don't have much time to come back for any more reschedule.
So you want to carry on?
Yes, we'll continue with that.
You think you're okay, even with the migraine, to go ahead?
I think I can proceed, yeah.
Okay, great. Then we will proceed. In the event, but don't worry, if at any time you need to stop, if you don't feel like you can do it today, you can defer for another time. In the event that you are certified as not yet competent, you will need to go for reassessment. Okay, but if you have any disputes with my findings, you may appeal. Are you aware of the appeal process?
Oh, yes, yes. My instructor have went through that a few times with us.
Fantastic.
I'm
Okay.
familiar with that.
Great. Okay, the assessment outcomes will be kept confidential unless, of course, if you've been sent by a company, they are entitled to know the results. Okay? Now, so far, are there any questions or clarifications you would like for me to verify?
So you're saying that two parts of assessment, role play, 20 minutes,
Yep.
oral questioning, 10 minutes.
Yep.
And-
And then I'll give you feedback and I'll let you know if you pass
So
or not.
by end of today, I will be able to know whether am I confident or not
Exactly.
confident.
Yep.
Okay, right. Because I need to rush back for another meeting.
Good. Okay. Well, then let's get it wrapped up. Through the process, I will be taking notes as I collect evidence. So if you're ready, we can go ahead and get started.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Now, as you can see over here, we have the setup of all the props from the shop. So these are the props you'll be using to sell. And everything has been set up in accordance with workplace safety and health standards. Are you aware of how the role play process works? Do I need to clarify anything for you on that?
No, I'm familiar with that.
No? Okay. Well, in that case,
20 minutes, right?
yeah. So the way it'll work is I'll say start, and then when I think that we're done, I will say stop. Okay? And I'll have you come in, I will come in from that part over there.
Okay.
And as soon as I say start, I'll walk in and we can get going. Okay?
Okay.
But all good to go?
So when you say start, we'll start the role play assessment.
Yeah.
Okay. And you say stop after that, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
All
Got
right.
it.
Okay, and start.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to ABC Shop.
Thank you.
Please feel free to have a look at our products.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I'm looking for something to buy for a friend of mine.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I am looking for some sort of device with a screen on it, maybe a mobile phone that he can use on the airplanes to write his speeches.
Mobile phone. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me recommend you this product. This is the latest Samsung's model. You have a big screen, and it has a very good feedback and positive reviews from many users about this video experience, and they can play games with this as well. And what happens is that it also got good battery life. It can last for about 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, even you play games for 48 hours, you still have good batteries, and the sound effect is also very good.
Okay.
Yeah, and importantly is that it has very good camera too. It allows you to take a very nice photograph to capture all this beautiful memory.
Okay.
Even in a very low light setting. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I'm thinking. So this guy, he travels on airplanes a lot. He works for a nonprofit organization. He needs something that where the battery lasts for a long time, and something that he can also use as a teleprompter when he gives his speeches. So, yeah, I don't know if it would be a laptop or what would be best.
So you say that he travel a lot, and he do a lot of presentations, And so not so much into video, not into all this gaming process. So this one will not be that suitable for him.
Okay.
Let me recommend you something like this. This is actually a tablet that has the latest
Okay.
Microsoft Office installed, and you also can use for him to, it's something that's light and easy to carry along when you
Okay.
travel. That he can actually work on it while he's in the the tight seating space in the aircraft. You also have long battery life.
Okay.
What is beautiful about this is that it have good storage memory,
Okay.
and it's also very light. And the record, it has a recording feature that even allow him to record his presentations, his rehearsal,
That's great.
and also that he can play back on his own. Do you want to have a look at this?
Yeah. Sounds interesting.
It's very lightweight as
Yeah,
well.
it is pretty lightweight. Yeah. Seems like that could maybe work.
And otherwise, another product that you may want to consider will be the this will be the workhorse that is able to run many programs that allow you to run the Microsoft Office. At the same time, he can also put out a video for his presentations, and also edit his Photoshop
Okay.
for all these visual presentations.
Okay.
But I must say that this is a bit more expensive. It costs about $5,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
And this is this with the mid-range between the handphone and the laptop. It will.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of these is quite right for this guy, actually. He's kind of particular.
What else do you think that he will prefer? What is something that he's particular about? Is it the memory or the
Well,
battery?
thing is, he likes the nicest things. Best, sleek, expensive. He's one of these guys. Have you ever been to Australia?
Yes.
Yeah, have you been? In Australia, they have like cool things, like the latest gadgets, and it's very hip and trendy to be into the latest things and the latest gadgets. Did you notice that when you were in Australia?
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, I found that the laptop that
Well,
we
so
use
that's
are
the kind
still old-fashioned.
that's the kind of guy that he is.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't know. For me, I like. I'm good with anything, like as long as it gets me from point A to point B, then I'm fine. Are you kind of like that? Are you like the point A to point B, or are you?
Oh, I'm more for point A to point B, just getting done. Yes.
Really? Yeah. So I'm similar. I don't know why you have to have the fanciest thing and all this stuff. It's like, why fly first class if you can fly economy, save a ton of money? Do you ever fly first class?
Oh no, I find the economy, the budget line.
Me too. Yeah. I'm glad to know that you're similar to me. That's at least we're thinking the same. But it's this other guy I got to get something for. So what do you think is like the most outrageous, expensive thing you guys have here? That's probably what I'm looking
Let me
for.
recommend you this MacBook Air. It's
Okay.
something that is very light. It's almost half the weight of this.
Okay.
It's very light and it's latest.
I could tell even by looking at it, it's probably the nicest one. Do you have any promotional thing going on with this?
Wow, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Good.
This
I love
is the
to
last
do
day of the promotions.
that. Okay.
Yes. It costs about, remember I told you this is $5,000, and it is actually the latest model, and it used to cost about $6,000, and because it is a new product in the market, and we're giving it to half price, $3,000.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow,
And
half price.
yes,
Great.
the promotion is going to end tomorrow, and you come back the day after tomorrow. It will be back to $6,000.
Man,
Yes.
do you take credit card?
Oh yes, yes, we do. In fact, we have this 12 months installment with the interest free.
Oh, that's fantastic. Any sort of, did you say anything about a refund or exchange policy?
Oh yes, yes. You can purchase these, and if your friend is not happy with the product, you can always bring it back with the original
Okay.
receipt within
Gotcha.
30 days.
That's
And
great.
well, we can exchange anything that in the shop.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. End. Stop. Okay, so we're good. Okay, thank you. Just give me a moment. If you can just step outside for just a minute. I'm going to tidy up a little bit of my notes here, and I'll call you right back in.
Okay, you'll call me again.
Okay? Yep.
Okay.
Hi, Jacqueline, come on back. Okay, now we're going to move on to the section of oral questioning. There's going to be 5 questions.
It's open book, right?
It's open book, yep. Do you have any questions about how this part is going to work?
Yes. You're going to ask me 5 questions, and this remaining 10 minutes you're going to assess me.
That's right. After this, I'll give you the assessment, the results of the assessment.
Okay.
Okay? So if you're ready, we'll go ahead and start.
Sure.
Ready? Okay. So the first question is, why is it important to serve, greet, and bid farewell to customers?
I think it's very important to show respect to the customer. I mean, the moment they step in, we always go to greet them, to make them comfortable. And of course, that also gives a good impression to the customer. And hopefully I can close my sale.
Okay. Second question, how do you find out what a customer needs?
Probably I will ask questions to get the customer to talk more about her requirements and see how could I match up to what the customer need to find some product that suitable for them.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so moving to question number 3. When a customer objects to the price of an item, claiming that other stores are selling it cheaper, what would you say?
Sorry. I don't understand what you're trying to tell me.
Sure, yeah, no problem. So, what would you say if a customer if a customer objects to the price? If they're claiming that another store could sell it cheaper, so they object to the price, what would you say?
Probably I will highlight those non-price feature to address this customer concern on price objections, because maybe the product is cheaper, but we may have more better specification for the product, and the workmanship and also the country of manufacture may be different.
Mhm.
So it's not something that they can compare based on, price.
Mhm.
Just they can compare apple and orange.
Okay. Question 4, how do you match customers' requirements to your product recommendation?
I think most of the time the first impression is always the design, the color, and the material, and especially if they mention it that they say one silver or gold color and all type of design, and I think sometimes it's also the weight of the product as well.
Okay. And last question, name one reason why you may need to present alternative product to the customer.
One reason. Sometimes the customer will appreciate if you could recommend them the promotional item, and if that also meet the customer's requirement, so you actually build relationship with the customer that they will come back to be your long-term customer, to continue buying products from your company.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Jacqueline, that concludes this section for the oral questioning. If I could ask you to just step outside for a couple of minutes, I'm going to tidy up my notes here, and then I'll call you in to give you the results of the assessment. Okay? Help yourself to coffee, tea.
Okay.
I'll just come get you in a couple of minutes, okay?
Okay.
All right. Come on back in. Okay, Jacqueline, let me ask you first, how do you feel like you did today?
I could have done better. Today is not my usual me. Yes.
Yeah, do you feel like it maybe had something to do with the migraine or just the busy
It
day and
is.
stuff?
A couple of reasons. It was a busy day. I've been rushing from one place to another place, and my day is hurting me. Yeah, it's not my usual shop.
Yeah, that's frustrating. So you feel like you could have done better?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, well, based on my observations today, you have not met the performance criteria specifically for PC 1.2 and 2.1. The oral questions was all passed, but because of these other two, I have to announce that you are not yet qualified, not yet competent is the passing that I have to give here, is that you're not yet competent on this competency unit, REABC 100C-1 on sell consumer goods or services. Is that clear?
Yes. I am aware of the things I need to do, yes.
Okay, so let me go through the feedback specifically with you, a couple of things that you did well, and then I'll highlight those two in particular that you did not pass. Okay, so the ones that I felt like, the ones that you did well is in PC 1.1 and 2.4. 1.1 is the smiling as the customer enters and making eye contact. You were very warm and welcoming. You welcomed me to the shop. You smiled at me. You made eye contact. I felt like you did that well. Also, PC 2.4, promote or present alternative products to the customer where appropriate. You were able to promote and present other products as we went along where that was necessary. So I found that you were able to do those well. In the two areas that was not yet competent, first is PC 1.2. When I first walked in, I expressed a strong desire, a strong interest in mobiles at first, PC 1.2. That's the other. This PC 1.2 is that whenever I would lean in to touch an object, you didn't take advantage of that opportunity to ask more questions about that, about my interest in that product. So when you see that I'm interested to buy and I lean forward and touch, you should take advantage of that opportunity. If I'm interested in that, you could say, "Oh, do you find that one interesting? Would you like to look at it more?" So you take advantage of those opportunities. So you didn't do that a couple of times when I touched certain products.
Okay. I will take note of that.
Yeah. Okay. And then PC 2.1. One of these requirements is to explain at least two products and services promptly. You did explain several products later on, but it's important to do it right away when you see what the customer is interested in, and you didn't do it promptly right away.
Oh, maybe my head was hurting me at that time. Yeah.
Could be,
Yeah.
yeah. So, do you have any further questions or clarifications that I can help you with at this time?
No, I am very clear of my mistakes, and I know what are the areas I need to improve on.
Yeah, I think you know. That's great. Are you aware with the appeal process?
Yes, my instructor have went through that many times. I'm aware.
You did. Okay. Do you agree with my findings today?
Yes.
Okay. So since you agree, I'm going to ask you to sign here, which has to do with that you're not planning to lodge an appeal, because as I understand, you agree.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you to sign right there first. Okay, and then I'm going to ask you to sign here for the record that we have completed the assessment and you've received my feedback. Okay. Okay, Jacqueline, that concludes the assessment for today. I believe you realize what you need to do, which areas you need to improve in. I've heard you reflect that back to me. I'm sure that if you go and take a little bit of time to improve these couple of areas, you come back on a day when you're feeling much better, I'm sure that you'll be able to pass this as competent the next time that you come. Okay? All right, well, that's all for today. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
and we'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye-bye. Okay, I have now completed the assessment.